Well, Donald Trump has his eyes set on New York with several campaign events scheduled ahead of the state's primary. One America's Neil McCabe takes a look at his campaign strategy in the Empire State.
A senior member of the Trump campaign told One America News that Donald Trump is committed to winning the Empire State in such a fashion that he will not only secure the lion's share of the state's delegates, but also deliver a knockout punch to his rival, Texas Senator Ted Cruz. The hiring of Paul Manafort as the campaign's convention manager and delegate hunter is another signal that New York is going to be an epic battle for the Trump campaign. At the same time as Manafort was negotiating his portfolio, former New York City Mayor Rudy Giuliani attempted his own takeover of the state campaign in exchange for his support. This gambit included public flirting with the Cruz campaign until Giuliani eventually endorsed his friend Trump without conditions. The GOP's 2010 nominee for New York Governor, Carl Palladino, who is also co-chairman of Trump's New York campaign, will bring new rhetorical firepower to the battle. In the next 2 weeks, the Trump campaign will open up new lines of attack, including the contrast between Cruz's opposition to federal aid for the victims of Superstorm Sandy and his support of federal aid for flood victims in Texas. To drive the point home, victims of Sandy will join the campaign as surrogates. Jordan Fishman, the CEO of the Alpha Tire Company, also becomes a Trump campaign surrogate, sharing how his Chinese contractor stole his designs in order to compete against him. When Fishman sued, the Chinese company hired Ted Cruz as their lawyer. Working as the attorney for the Chinese, Cruz argued that their theft was exempt from federal courts because it had taken place outside the United States. The source said other surrogates plan to blanket the state's 8 media markets, overwhelming the Cruz campaign's ability to respond. Another important issue for Trump is gun rights, especially upstate, where there is open resistance to the SAFE Act that Governor Andrew Cuomo and the state's Republican leadership passed after the Sandy Hook school shooting, the source said. Ted Cruz made his first moves in New York, reaching out to the conservative neighborhoods of New York City, while Ohio Governor John Kasich is campaigning upstate in cities like Rochester and Syracuse. But this is Donald Trump's home court, and he is pressing every advantage that home court means. Neil W. McCabe, One America News, Washington.